Hey Emily. Hey Jenna. Hey Donut. Hey Jack Jack. Beige. Sandra. Aiden. Dana. I am totally not Dana, but thanks. Hey Assassin. Harlem. Rebecca. Peter. Karen. Hey Karen. Painful. Dana. Duties. I will continue to be an atheist, Rebecca. So, hey Jen. Hey Killface. And not something I feel like talking about, Rebecca. Sam set. Yeah, that's a depression. It's the depression. Yeah, not happening, Rebecca. I don't have enough money, Dana. But for my brother? Nope, his apartment sucks. It is not a hentai game, Interipsa. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it, Rebecca. Hey, Fondu. Don't want to talk about it, Kara. Honestly, Assassin, it's not something I want to talk about at all. Hey, Dana. Yowie. The player, Interipsa, the player character, uh, you can choose the player character, the main character's gender. So if you want it to be a yaoi game, you can make it a yaoi story. Not spilling tea. Yeah. Yeah, Chantel made some chicken. Hey, Predator. Cool. I don't know, Rebecca. I have no fucking idea. I don't want to talk about it. Hey, California. Jack Jack. Uh, the game is mostly about growing up. This is primarily a game about growing up, about the relationships you form, particularly with this kid who grows up to this kid. Thanks, Killface. I didn't cook today. So yeah, it's about growing from childhood to adulthood with a lonely boy next door. I didn't cook, Dana. There are no nurses at all, Rebecca. Where do I play this? Steam, Lady Assassin. It's on Steam. I honestly have no idea if it's on any other consoles. It might be on Switch. Give me a second. It might actually be on Switch as well. Maybe not. Okay, looks like it is on Android. Newman? Yes. Steam is where I have it. It looks... Hey, maybe. I feel like it might be in a couple other places, but I could be wrong. Steam and Itch, I guess. Hey, Gail. So it is also on itch.io. And I just found out that there is an NSFW moment available through Patreon. I was unaware of that. Dana? No. No, I wouldn't want to stay here anyway. This is a much bigger place than I need. Do you have to have a fancy computer for Steam? It doesn't really need to be all that fancy now. Hey, Friesen. Shit. Keep forgetting Friesen. I keep forgetting about emojis in general. Tooties? I can't take the cat's toodles. As far as the cats go, Chantel has found a home for them. Sent a pic to my Brianni, who's a nurse, and she's so concerned, so I'm really worried. Anyway, so yeah, as far as the cats go, Chantel has found a new home for them. Pink season? I don't have the NSFW portion. I wouldn't want to visit it. I play it on stream anyway, on YouTube, as visited my mom. It was good. It was nice to see her. Fake daughter? Hey, Steph. Hippie? Yes. the reality is I can't take them. Like I can't. Like it's not something where I can take them. Get studio. Even if I got a studio apartment deb, I wouldn't be able to take the cats. Like it's just not. Okay, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Hey, Blumkin. Assassin. I think like a friend of her mom's or something like that. I don't know. Rebecca? Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure the NSFW moment is probably, uh, you know, when they're adults. I'm guessing that it's, you know, they're 20, when it's, you know, a moment from when they're 23. Fucking whatever, hippie. Yeah, it sucks, Deb. Hey, Jasmine. Curious about something. Missed a apparently missed a scene in there. Got all the step 2 scenes, except for some Derek ones. Wanted to see if the actually wanted to see if the gallery has had the music. It doesn't. Hey, Tanya. I don't sing, Friesen. Okay, Steph. Talk to you later. Hey, Anna. I'm surprised they don't have the music featured in the gallery. Would have been cool. Hey, Barbara. Amazon wishlist? No. No, I don't like Amazon, so I don't have an Amazon wishlist. Like horror games? Yeah, I'm not big on horror assassin. Hey, Coco. I don't know. If you want to buy me something, then just send me money on coffee and tell me what you want me to put it towards. Shill for Nintendo? I would absolutely shill for Nintendo. Animal Crossing, no. Tim Hortons wish list. Like, I'm sure Nintendo's... I'm sure Nintendo's got plenty of dirty shit that they've gotten up to, but I don't know. I like Nintendo. Also, I feel like Nintendo is often willing to delay shit, to delay games. You know, like most video game publishers really don't like delaying games. I feel like Nintendo has shown a willingness in the past to delay games in order to make sure that they are good and worth releasing. Newman? Ah. I don't really need new games right now. I've got games already that I haven't played, and I'm sure Nintendo still gets involved in like shitty ass crunch culture, but read the biography of the guy who invented Super Mario. He played horribly as a child, yeah. So I don't know. Nintendo is a company I would pretty happily shill for, frankly. Alright, let's get started. From the moment you woke up, you knew that today was going to be busier than usual. There was a list of errands that needed to be finished before the day was done. First up was visiting one of the biggest farmers markets in the area. It was only open 2 weekends a month during certain parts of the year. It was rare that you and your family were able to attend, so your moms liked to make the most out of every minute of it. And you realized it was not just them feeling that way when you heard a whistle from your left side. Wow, this is a swanky show. Vegetables have never seemed so highbrow. Hey, Gil. Seriously, they don't mess around with their products.
Isn't that great?
Isn't it exciting? Liz crossed her arms. You could tell she was amused. We couldn't have picked a more perfect trip. It's been too long since we've had a true family outing. Her teasing tone said more than she actually did. Your next door neighbors had joined you this day, and that's what made it a true family outing. The three parents laughed approvingly. Hey, Scapegoat. We don't body shame in this household, Scapegoat. We don't body shame in this chat. Out of the corner of your eye, you caught Cove looking at you sympathetically. Some things never changed, and some jokes never died. You'd long accepted that. You thought this trip might be fun. You smiled, trying to imagine how many stalls were set up. You were curious what hidden gems were waiting for you to discover among them. Well, I'm ready to get started. I've got plenty of dishes in mind I could use ingredients for. Friesen? I don't body shame Casey, I just call her ugly. Hey, J-Dot. Before your moms responded to that, they glanced at each other and smiled. Yes, that's a very good idea, Cliff. This place is much larger than it seems. It's difficult to visit each part in a single day.
I got it.
I'm sure we can make a decent dent together at least. Actually, since there are so many of us this time, we could take different sides of the market.
Sounds good.
Divide and conquer, eh? That sounds brilliant. Everyone watched your moms, surprised. No one had considered that an option, but your mom flashed the group a dazzling smile, continuing with the thought. Though, it's a little unfair that there are 4 last family members and only 2 Holdens here, so I'll go with you boys to even out the odds.
Okay.
That's fine with me. Cliff scratched the back of his neck and slowly met Cove's stare. They both seemed unconvinced, but weren't sure what to say about it. Hi, Icky. Nope, plenty more to go. There are 9 more moments at age 18, plus there is a DLC coming with 5 more. And then there's going to be age 23 and marriage. Don't worry, we'll be apart for only a few hours, and then we'll have something to talk about at the end of it. Father and son ultimately nodded. This wasn't an argument they were going to win.
All right.
Alright. I don't get the point, but I also don't mind spending the first part of the trip with Jamie and Ma. Which one was like an hour long? At the rate I read Pink Season, yeah, an hour to an hour and a half, depending on sort of how distracted I get by other stuff, by chat. Ma clapped her hands together at that. Hey, Cam. Polyamory simulator? I mean, this moment's starting to seem like it might be. Wonderful. Are the teens ready to go? Cat is 28. Jeez. Kind of tempted to ask be the one who goes with the Holdens instead, but yeah. Noticing that you were quiet, Ma hooked an arm around you in a little side hug. You smiled softly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Taking the lead, Mom walked over towards Cove and Cliff, who were still eyeing her confusedly.
Let's go.
Come on, boys, we're heading out. Sure. Okay. Cove looked at you softly and found himself pulled forward, stopping in front of you. His expression flickered for a moment, hesitant.
Bye.
Bye. Cove lightly took one of your hands in his and gave it a small squeeze. He dipped his face forward, wanting to kiss farewell. When instead he stopped midway, his whole body stiff. He jerked his gaze back at your mom, and you realized that she had grabbed the hem of his shirt. She gave it a small tug before letting go.
No, no, no.
Time's a wasting, Cove, and I've known you long enough to be aware that you're one to linger. If I don't stop you now, you'll only drag your feet on parting ways more. Thanks, Jezebel. Okay, Fat Jude. Blue trees? What? I'm not sure what blue trees means, but okay, Killface. See you later. Mallow, end of the month, and not well. The two of you can snuggle and make out as much as you want later. We have important shopping to do now. Cove gasped at what he felt was a truly obscene thing to say. His face burned red, but that was ignored by him. He spoke with an unimpressed roll of the eyes.
Seriously?
You don't need to literally pull me away from Jamie. I'm not that clingy. Mom sniggered with a shake of her head. Cove's eyebrows raised over the reaction, and he turned to Mom. She wouldn't meet his eye as she whistled innocently. Liz smirked ear to ear, and Cove whipped his head towards his dad. Mr. Holden couldn't offer anything more than an apologetic shrug. It was only then that it dawned on Cove that everyone did think that he was that needy. Finally, he dared to face you with wide, pleading eyes. Hey, Barbara. Fucking whatever, Gary. Doing the devil's letter? Oh! Hi, J-Dot. Doing the devil's... Okay, so that's what blue trees means. Or blowing trees means. I'm torn between staring back at him and saying he can be capable of independent when he wants to be. Last option. Sort of what I was leaning towards. Silently, you stared back at him. There was no denying it. They were right, but you didn't want to join in with this conversation. You struggled to think of a defense for him, but your silence was telling enough. Cove hung his head, feeling completely outnumbered. Yeah, well... So what? That admission had Liz, your mom's, and his dad bursting into laughter. Cove grimaced and walked several steps from the group before stopping. He clearly wanted to move on, so much that he was physically moving away. You smiled softly and waved goodbye. When he noticed, Cove's mouth pulled into a bent smile of his own, and he seemed to feel a bit better a bit.
See you later.
See you in a few hours. Take care of yourselves. At that, Mom picked a direction and set out into the market with Mr. Holden and Cove following behind her. Gary, see, the first rule of my Fight Club is not in the face, not in the face. Second rule is don't shit talk my best friend. Reason? Yeah, still Amazon. Thanks, Mallow. Grinning, Ma sent them off with a big wave. Liz gave a daintier goodbye wave herself. Thanks, Tanya. Bella? Yeah, I have no idea what I'll do at my mom's. Despite the change in plans, you were still glad to be there. It wasn't what you'd imagined, but that didn't matter. There was a whole market to explore, and you couldn't wait to find some good stuff. When they were gone, Ma cheerily turned towards you and Liz. She put her hands on her hips. Do you think there'll be any nice ginger around here? We'll have to find out. You nodded in agreement, keen to truly get the trip going. Ma led you both into the busy market. Online dating? Yeah. Some time passed browsing. There were only a few stalls you stopped at. You had fun chatting and laughing, pointing at various things to Ma and Liz, and vice versa. At one point, Ma stopped suddenly. She put a hand on her belly and gave a half-hearted smile. I think I should have used the bathroom before we left home like the two of you responsibly did. Just need to pee?
Yes.
Yes, Liz. I'll have to visit the ladies' room now. Hey, Barbara. Should we wait here? Ma craned forward as she struggled to pinpoint the direction she needed to go. She gently brushed your comment away. There's no need to worry about me for this, or waste time standing around. Keep on shopping. Though, actually, I might need help finding my way. Can you please come, Lizzie? You and your sister had to share a look over that. Why do that of all things? Walmart stopped carrying shopping bags. Yeah, that's becoming a thing, Freezing. More and more games, or more and more stores are doing that. Which is kind of shitty. Assassin? Well, this is a visual novel, so it's different. Choose your own adventure? Sort of, Carrie. It's a slice of life story. So, like, this is not an adventure story that is being told. It is a game specifically about growing up. So it is a visual novel about growing up, about the relationships with your family and with your friends. Just about... yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I think I enjoy this story. I think, like, I do find it really cute. I do find it a really cute, sweet game. But, having said that, it's absolutely not for everybody. You know, a lot of people do want games that have action, that have, like, actual gameplay, beyond just choosing dialogue responses. And that's fine. But I enjoy visual novels. I find them relaxing. Visual novels are relaxing. Like, visual novels are relaxing in a way that GTA is not. Yeah. Playing a hentai game right now. Cool. Those can be fun too those can be fun in a very different type of way. Female characters set unrealistic physical expectations for women.
Hey.
Ma, if anyone should go anywhere on their own, shouldn't it be you? You're the one needing a detour, and you're the parent here. Ma giggled, unfazed by the resistance. Liz, meanwhile, tipped the brow of her hat up, watching Ma skeptically. Soon enough, Jamie will have to handle doing these kinds of errands on their own. This makes good practice. What? Ma hooked an arm around Liz and pulled her along.
Have fun.
Have fun. We'll find each other again later. Excuse me? Honey Pop? Puzzle hentai? Ugh, puzzle games. Hate puzzle games. Favorite visual novel is Saya no Uta. Bye. It was all you could mutter as Ma and Liz waded into the crowd. They were out of sight within moments, and what started as a group outing rapidly became you, entirely on your own. photos of patient stools. Setting aside the grossness, that also feels like a bit of a violation of privacy. Hey, Barney. Like, I don't know. I mean, obviously I imagine the stool samples are anonymous. But even so, it's... Shouldn't you need to get permission? Like, I'd imagine you'd want permission, right? You thought Ma was being ridiculous, but you didn't really mind. You weren't sure what ulterior motives Ma had for pulling this, but that was far down on your priority list at the moment. You were starting to feel happy at the idea of doing things at your own pace. Hey, Comic Brook. You walked off on your own. Resigned to your fate, you picked up where you left off, browsing the stalls. One hooked your attention. While most stalls were selling various garden-grown foods, this one had an array of homemade fudge. I can make some homemade fudge. I'm sorry. There were even vegan versions of every option. Vegan fudge. Oh, yeah, Carrie, it's about 20 to 8. Truthfully, I don't much like fudge myself. Pack it yourself. Thanks, Google user. Ha ha ha, plop. Ha ha ha, plop is a great... that is honestly hilarious. That is honestly just a great line. Ha ha ha, plop. That's really funny. So this chicken sandwich made from a giant mushroom? Ugh. Like, very time-consuming and gross. Mushrooms. Ew. Anyway, soon your gaze drifted elsewhere. Screw. I don't like fudge. It was fun getting a peek at all the fudge options, but you weren't enticed enough to buy any. You pondered for a moment what you should do now. None of the stalls were catching your eye. Thanks, user. I don't like fudge, Honey Bunny. Jenna loves butt stuff. That's what we say in my house if someone makes an inadvertent poop joke. What did grab your attention, however, was a head of familiar seafoam hair sticking out above the crowd. You knew instantly it was Cove. He hadn't noticed you yet, but he was walking in your direction. He held a couple bags tightly in his hand. Strangely, you couldn't spot your mom or his dad anywhere. Not talking about him, Junior. You called out to him. Cove, over here! He instantly stopped dead in his tracks. Alert, Cove's head snapped up and his eyes searched the crowd until they landed on you. His whole demeanor brightened at the sight.
Jamie.
He weaved through passers-by awkwardly in an attempt to get through as fast as reasonably possible, nearly stumbling more than once. What kind of name is Cove? I don't know. I mean, there are some weird names out there, Carrie. You ran to meet him. You took off full tilt towards Cove as he continued his own approach. It was undeniable that he was shopping by himself. You stared at him confused. Where's the rest of your group? Cove crossed his arms defiantly, the bags twisting in front of him. Your mom took my dad and I ended up alone. Why are you by yourself? Ma and Liz abandoned me, too.
What?
I can't believe this happened to both of us. They planned it. They had to. But I don't know why. Are they pranking us? I don't know either. No, I don't know. Hey, Journey. Well, if you want to catch up on it, Journey, there's a lot of videos. I've done a lot of videos, episodes of it so far. A farmer's market, what a meat cute. I mean, we've already met cute, Jenna. The meat cute was 8 years old and behind my house. And you meant it. You couldn't fathom what your moms were up to. Cove shook his head, trying to clear his mind.
So...
Well, his change in tone caught your attention. You watched his eyes start to twinkle with mischief as his mouth pulled into a cheeky smile. You know, it is technically later, and your mom isn't around this time. You chuckled, knowing exactly what he was implying. That incident was already replaying in your head. You kissed him, obviously. You stepped closer, placing a hand on his upper arm. Cove beamed and leaned in. It was quick. Too quick. But you could feel him smile through it. When you both did part, Cove chuckled affectionately. I'm glad it's later.
Me too.
So, His gaze wandered off as if one of your parents might simply appear if he kept checking, and you could tell he was still processing the situation. He scratched the back of his head, looking sheepish. Jenna? Yep. Lots of kissing. Now that me and Cove are a couple, we kiss whenever we get a chance. Cove, you cad. Baxter is shook. Nah, he likes me and Cove as a couple. He thinks me and Cove make a really nice couple, Friesen. It's just a shame that we can't open it to be a polycule. Hey, Belly. Chainsaw Man? No, I've heard good things about Chainsaw Man. Binder? He's not wearing a binder. Do you want to forget about whatever's happening and go shopping together? Definitely. There was little care in your mind for what your moms had planned. You were ecstatic at the thought of spending the rest of the trip with him. Cove's grin twisted into a conspiratorial one. You both knew that you were going against whatever had really been planned for this outing, but luckily, neither of you cared one bit at this point. So where to first? I don't mind going back the way I came if it's new to you. It's not hard to miss stuff even if I've gone past it. Hi, Gia. Yes. He is 18. He is 18, Gia. So it's okay to ogle him. What have you gotten? Cove shuffled his bags around and started pulling them open so you could peek inside each one. You recognized the array of things he picked up around the market. I mostly got typical things that I can use pretty easily so far. Nothing super exciting. And, well, I picked up a few things I figured you might want to have too. Bet Cove is big. Thanks, Journey. Not 12 inches, Tendies. I could definitely see 8 inches. 9 tops. suspect that any bigger than 9 inches and it just becomes like too big. Average but thick. Maybe. There were a few onions, some apples, and sweet potatoes, among other things that were wrapped up so you couldn't discern what they were. How many inches are you? Ask your mom. You chose perfectly, thank you. Would I know what 9 inches feels like? No. I wouldn't know what any of it feels like, Tendies. 12 inches? Yeah, like 12 inches feels like, for most women, I feel like 12 inches would be too big. There's some, I mean, some women would like that, but I think for most women, I feel like around 8 inches is probably about the limit of what they would enjoy. Bigger than 8 inches, and I think most women would probably be like, yeah, that's not enjoyable anymore. Finally got a mom joke to myself. I try to spread around the mom love, Google user. I try to spread around the mom love. As all your moms can attest. Seems like 12 would really hurt. I think for a lot of women it would. What Cove bought made sense, but it was far from a complete selection. You glanced around at the nearby stalls. Oh, happy birthday, Bally. Sorry, Bally. I went to my mom's yesterday, and by the time I got home, I was just exhausted. I was in no mood to go live yesterday. So, but happy belated birthday! Holy shit! Amethyst and Emeralds, happy early birthday! I won't be around on Monday. I hope you have an awesome 30th birthday. Thank you very much, Amethysts. Amethyst and Emeralds. Drop some hearts. Drop hearts and cakes in the chat for Amethyst and Emeralds. Hearts and cakes. Cove is a sub bottom. Isn't Coral? I don't know. This is my mom. We ordered Philos for dinner. Talked about stuff. My brother talked about the place he's working right now. Didn't make video. I don't really want to put my mom on camera. I don't really want to put my mom on camera. I don't think she'd be comfortable on camera. Hearts and cakes, I'm too lazy to find the emojis. Fair enough. She is not freezing. Cake fart stream? No cake fart stream. Kind of job I've like. I don't know, Deb. I mean, they're both. Hey, Nancy. They're both really trying to push me to apply at his place. They'll put my family. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely not Google user. Oh, I'm not ashamed of my family. Belly, I'm not ashamed of my family. I'm ashamed of all you people. No, I'm not ashamed of my family. It's protection. It's a protection. Protect them. I really don't want assholes online sort of talking about my family. And I mean, they absolutely would. We are shameful. So, my chat does get pretty fucked up, Jenna. But, nah, most of you are fine, Google user. Most of you are fine. Yeah, most of you are fine, but there are some assholes out there who would definitely make an issue of my mom. So. Crash Bandicoot? Nah. Shank, anyone who says my mom has her own zip code? Nah. My mom's small, actually. She's tiny. My mom supports me emotionally. Just saying, if your mom was in chat, I'd clean my act up real quick. How tall is she? I think she might actually be below 5 feet now. I think she might have shrunk below 5 feet. Anyway. Want to start over there? Ko followed your eye as he pointed at one of the larger stalls. It was filled with several kinds of staple fruits and vegetables.
Come on.
Yeah, let's go. Once a few people finished paying and moved, you and Cove got yourselves directly in front of the shop. There were so many things to pick from. Strawberries. Peaches. Cucumbers. Carrots. Who is it? Yeah, he's out of the picture. Peppers. Great Aunt is way under 5 feet now because she's Scoliosis hunchback. Yeah. It is weird how people shrink when they get old. Like, it's weird that people shrink. That doesn't feel like it should be allowed. Potatoes. Tomatoes. Fine, lemons. Pineapple? Maybe a different stall has pineapples. Spinach? No. Ew. Spinach. Fuck do I look like? Popeye? Interesting fact. Amethyst and Emerald! Welcome back, Amethyst and Emeralds as another member, as a member for 2 months. Thank you. I know, Jasmine. Yeah. Interesting fact about spinach. Popeye getting his strength from spinach is a reference to a myth regarding spinach. there was a... Must shit like a champ. What was it? There was... Because somebody screwed up. Like... There was this thing where some scientist had... like... thought that spinach was like this absolute superfood. But it turns out that it was like that they just kind of screwed up with screwed up like a decimal point. Thought it was something to do with the iron in it. Apparently. Though apparently at one point, Popeye said that it's full of vitamin A, and that's what made him strong. But yeah, like some scientists sort of screwed up with his calculations of the nutrients in spinach. People actually can't spinach it. So yeah, like some... Hey, Delaware. Some dude just screwed up his calculations of the nutrients of spinach, which ended up sort of going viral. Like those initial incorrect calculations went viral. And people thought that it was just like ridiculously powerful superfood. Still good for you, it's just not as ridiculously good for you as this dude thought. Also, I recently learned that there was an old radio show where Popeye got his strength from oatmeal, because the radio show was sponsored by an oatmeal company. So, you can learn some real interesting stuff by following the right people on Twitter. So, guy I follow on Twitter, Randy Milholland, currently does the Sunday strips for Popeye. Delaware Pearl, happy early birthday. Sorry, I can't give more. I mean, $4.99 is plenty, Delaware Pearl. $4.99, any donation is more than I expect. So thank you very much, Delaware Pearl. Still selling Popeye spinach. Anyways, yeah, Randy Milholland, he draws the Sunday strips, and he also does one. He's also one of the cartoonists for the Popeye and Olive strips. He does, he does one a week, and then Olivia Shamas, I think, does the other one each week. You know why orange juice is part of a well-balanced breakfast? Because one year there were more oranges than they could ever sold. Yeah, it's interesting how that happens. Anyway, so yeah, he does the comic strip right now. Or the Sunday comics, like I said. And he is, like, a huge Popeye nerd. Reason, yes, I got a pink drink yesterday. At long last. And Thursday, actually. I think I got a pink drink on Thursday as well, didn't I? Want to be a scientist so I can say crap like mayo has as many antioxidants as craisins, and like get a ton of people to just eat straight mayo. Do you even need to be a scientist to do that anymore, Jenna? Like, shit, I've already, like... You could probably, like, just start spreading that on Twitter. Say that in a few places. Like, you know, do a TikTok, and if you say it, like, authoritatively enough and get lucky, it'll spread. Like, you don't even need to be a scientist to spread shit like that anymore. Anyway, back to the game. The shop owner put your selection together and handed it to you in a couple bags. Bally, I am turning 38. $50 to show my bathroom. Not tonight, tendies. Pumpkins are triggering. Oh, those ones, yeah. Have to come up with the perfect dance on TikTok to go viral. Happily, you paid and waited for Cove to make his purchase. Ready to go? Cove grinned, satisfied with his new choices. He had added another bag to his small but growing collection. You nodded. Oh, wait. Before we start moving on and everything, want to hold hands? You held onto his hand. There was no way you could say no to that face. Delighted, you laced your fingers with his without hesitation. Best brand of mayo? Thanks, Gia. Go squeezed your hand back. Older than you, but not by much. Older than your friend by 1 month? Older and wiser than you all. I'm pretty sure I do have older people in that in my chat, Bally. Frida Stoner, happy birthday! You are doing amazing. Thank you, Frida, and welcome back to being a member. Fog up like in that Titanic car. Cove squeezed your hand back. With renewed eagerness, your boyfriend nodded his head in the direction you had been going towards. Boyfriend! I have a boyfriend!
Alright.
Okay, now let's go. Together, you and Cove wandered the market on the lookout for any stalls that caught your attention. Cove was walking around with a spring in his step, talking about the various meal ideas he had in mind. After a while, you had to go greater distances to find something of interest. Several of the stalls were still selling the same goods. It was only a matter now of which you wanted to buy from. You continued ambling away until from down the path, until Cove stopped suddenly, literally pulling you away from your thoughts. Cove? BBC? Big. Trying to think of what the second B would stand for with him. Yeah, I don't know. Big beige. That works. That works, maybe. Big beige cock, yeah, that works. You followed his eye line past the crowds. Immediately, you knew what grabbed him. Homemade jams and local honey. That stall was glittering with quaint glass jars stacked high, each encasing gels of varying colors. Cove's eyes were practically sparkling at the sight. His feet automatically began to take him there, likely without being fully aware he had made an unexplained detour. When you got closer, you were surprised there were even more varieties than you thought. There were even different honeys based on what type of pollen the bees used. Cove's focus seemed torn between a bottle of blackberry jam and one of clover honey. How dare you, Carrie? No such thing as just jam. Hey, Backrooms. Glad to help, Bally. Everything looks really good. Cove held up the 2 jars in his hands for you to see. He grinned ear to ear.
Right?
I know, right? He continued to weigh the decision in his mind, actually lifting one higher and dropping the other lower during the process, as if they were on a scale. You thought things over for yourself, too. Strawberry jam. Love me some strawberry jam. And sure, raspberry jam, why not? Hi, Backrooms. Let's see. Clover honey, orange blossom honey, or spring wildflower honey? What do you think? What type of honey? What type of honey should I get? Clover? Is jam code for something? Yeah. For jam. For jelly. Good for hair masks. Jam is not. Jam's good. Getting groceries for like a half hour now. Because we gotta think about the honeys. Rachel Hay! Oh, thank you, Rachel Hay. Thank you for the 10 gift memberships, Rachel. Congratulations to Sock Puppet, Sue, Ray, Rebecca, Habibi, Elise, Mick, SYL, and Michelle. Congratulations to you 10. And, pizza slices in the chat for Rachel. Drop some pizza slices for Rachel. Spring wildflower honey. That sounds interesting. And screw it. Get some clover honey as well. Why not? You paid, and the shop owner started putting together your order. They carefully packed it in a single bag with paper. Thank you very much. Amused, you watched Cove give in and just buy both the clover honey and the blackberry jam. He also went all in, getting spring wildflower honey and plum jam too. The shop owner thoughtfully wrapped each in brown paper to protect them before putting them away in a bag. He handed the purchase to Cove.
Thank you.
Ryan is a Russian prisoner now. You both stepped away from the stall. Cove didn't fail to notice the look you'd been giving him since he agonized over his toast toppers. Yeah, we'll see, Bally. Yeah, it's luck. What's interesting is when Rachel gifted the memberships, I got a message because I'm reading the chat on my phone while I play. That's why I'm looking down most of the time. So I'm reading the chat on my phone, and I got a message. Next time you could be a lucky recipient of a membership, and prompting me to allow gifts. The funny thing, it's so amusing to me that it's hey, why don't you choose to allow gifts to get a membership? I'm logged in under my own account. You could get a membership to your own channel. I don't think I really need that, YouTube. But thank you. Hey, this doesn't go bad for a long time, so why not stock up? I could have chosen one if I wanted to. Hey, Anunnaki. Sure, and I get it. Why do you think I got so many too? Good then. As you began to stroll, Cove looked up at the sky. He smiled. It was sort of unexpected, considering all of this was technically an errand, and unexpected changes often upset him. But he was happy, and Cove liked doing this kind of normal thing. I'm not only the owner, I'm a member. Yeah. I'm not only the president of the Hair Club for Men, I'm also a member. And you could tell that Cove especially enjoyed doing these kinds of things with you. Aww. You were feeling the same as him. You weren't going to let what happened put a damper on this outing. We're so domestic. Cove took a sharp intake of air and started coughing for a moment. Afterwards, he looked at you in your teasing grin and chuckled.
You're right.
That is true. I like it. Later, when you spotted a less crowded area, you took a break from browsing. Cove started rummaging through one of his bags just to check on how his goods were doing. A smile grew on his face as he went on to the next. You chuckled, knowing that Cove wouldn't let anything go to waste. There wasn't a single doubt. He was gonna eat it all. Aw, thanks, Bally. You held a hand in front of your face as you squinted upwards. The sun had moved quite a bit. You'd been at the market for a good while now. Neither your feet nor your arms were sore right now, and Cove looked to be doing fine too, but that was something that could be coming. There was a price to pay for this much shopping, and it wasn't always just in money. You quietly enjoyed the break from walking. There was a breeze you just barely noticed in the air, and you contentedly sighed, happy that the weather was cooperative for the market. It made things even better.
Hey.
Hey, want a ride? Staring at him quizzically, you raised an eyebrow. Cove chuckled awkwardly and his cheeks turned a light shade of pink. He tried again. I mean a piggyback ride. You could take a little rest. I don't mind. enough knowledge about YouTube and many other things. Need to know to use stuff in your benefit. Cove needs a cove bleach. No, Paolo. Thanks, but no thank you. Cove looked away from you and scratched at the back of his head. His voice came out softly. Okay. And with that, you and Cove continued your trip through the market together. Ma and Mom had both texted you during the trip, though only to say that they hoped you'd found some good stuff, and that they'd see you later. There were no answers on where they went or why. You and Cove continued to wind your way through the bustling market, the list of outstanding items steadily shrinking while bags grew heavier. Eventually, Cove realized that he hadn't checked his own phone in a while. The two of you came to a stop in the nearest alcove, where you'd be out of the steady stream of people perusing the stalls, and he pulled out his phone. Every guy scratches his balls, tendies. Cove rearranged all the bags he was carrying, freeing a hand so that he could pull out his phone. You watched his eyes dart over the screen as he read the waiting messages. Not important. I can reply to that later. He mumbled his verdict under his breath. Then Cove's face scrunched up with confusion.
Huh?
Wait, I got a message from my dad. Listen to this. Cove, I wasn't part of the plan. I didn't know what was going on when I left with Jamie's mom. Where are you? He sent that ages ago. I didn't hear it come in. He sent another one since then, so he hopes I'm alright and that he's not bothering me. It's the most embarrassing. Once walked into my parents having sex. It was the most embarrassing 30 minutes of my life. The newest one says everybody's going to the parking lot soon and we can meet up there. He lowered his phone, eyes narrowed. The same conclusion that was settling on you had landed on Cove as well. So it was on purpose. Your parents weren't off riding bikes into the sunset this time. It was something entirely different. He lifted the phone again, staring hard at the screen. Didn't my mom pull this stunt when we were little? You know, that time she took us to the mall? Is this a mom thing? Cove blinked, a slight frown furrowing his forehead. He didn't seem to know how to respond to this. They say homophobes are homosexuals in denial. What does it mean for Cove that he's afraid of dogs? First of all, I don't think we've ever seen anything about Cove being afraid of dogs. Second of all, I know you're making a joke, Scapegoat, but I genuinely hate the whole homophobes are just gay people in denial. Because, like, that blames gay people for their own oppression. You know? Aquaman. Want to take a bath? I want to take you with me in the bathroom, but I don't want to be gross. Is it okay if we go bathe together? Sure, Bally. The crowd of people passing by stayed as noisy as ever, a sharp contrast to the silence that had fallen over you and Cove. Hey, Lambo! As a gay man, let me tell you there's truth to that. Well, here's the thing. Yes, some homophobes are just in denial. There are some homophobes who are simply in denial about their own sexuality, for sure. Most homophobes are straight. Lord Baroque. Google won't tell me how much membership gifting costs. For fuck's sake, happy birthday. Thank you very much, Lord Baroque. For the record, memberships are $1.99. Still can't change my damn name. Yeah, isn't it like 2 weeks? You have to have it for like 2 weeks before you can change it? I'm a homophone. I sound like something similar. He was rubbing the screen of his phone against his shirt, wiping away dust and debris. Holy shit, MG! It's date night, so I can't stay, but I hope you have a magical weekend. Thank you so much, MG. Hearts in the chat for MG. As always, once again, hearts in the chat for MG, who gets so many hearts because MG is entirely too generous. Why do dogs always race to the door when the doorbell rings? It's almost never for them. Because there's always the chance that it's for them, Scrapegoat. Don't feel bad, Lord Baroque. MG is just ridiculous. Ridiculously generous. Don't feel bad about only doing $5 when MG does 50. MG has a history of this. MG is always too generous. He's rubbing the screen of his phone against his shirt, wiping away dust and debris. He continued scrubbing the screen long after anything could have remained. The action a poor substitute for pushing away the awkwardness of the moment. MG is that girl. The truth is, Lord Baroque, even $5 is more than I ever expect from anybody. So, frankly, the $2 is more than I expect from anybody. Want Cove to rub something else? You felt all right about it all. There was no malice behind the plot. You were quite sure of that. Your moms must have had their reasons for doing this, and it hadn't harmed you in any way. MG is a woman of a higher level than most of us on the internet. That's fair, Lord Baroque. Meanwhile, I hate cash. Give me digital money. They can be really weird, huh?
Are you okay?
His voice was gentle. Yeah, really. Oh, sorry, California Milk. Not trying to ignore anybody. What is Cove doing? Smiling. That's good. Abandoning us without a warning wasn't really a cool idea. Even if they meant well, which they probably did. He looked you straight in the eyes. Not making a big deal out of this is nice. I'm not exactly thrilled, personally. So if you do want to complain to me, you can. I don't have anything to complain about. Nothing? Ever? I don't know. His mouth hung open, and then he laughed.
No way.
Come on, you've got to have plenty of stuff to complain about just from the stunts I've pulled myself, let alone what's happened today. You cracked a grin at that, despite yourself. He could certainly be a troublemaker when he wanted to be, but he could also be so kind. After a moment, he stepped away from you, face turned. Cove closed his eyes and took a deep breath. His brow creased, then furrowed deeper into a scowl, his arms tightly coiling together. So they did do something stupid. I knew it! His voice had taken on an exaggerated quality, but what truly distinguished it from Cove's typical speaking tone was the abundance of rage. This is such a chore! Parents are so dumb. Why do people have to go places with family members anyway? I hate them! And I also hate farmers markets. You got it instantly. It had been years since the boy with the bowl cut had been in town for the summer, but Cove had never forgotten. To this day, he continued to unleash his impersonation whenever the moment felt right. Sometimes you wondered if the act had grown more exaggerated over the years, or if the kid really was always that ridiculous. Reason? How many 18-year-olds do you know who... Like, he literally just graduated high school, Friesen. Like, this is the summer after he graduated high school. How many 18-year-olds do you know, fresh out of high school, already in their own apartments? Though for the record, I think he is actually searching for an apartment. Play along? Fine, I'll play along. Wow, what is wrong with you?
No!
I'm not wrong, actually. If you were as smart as me, you'd know that. Cove gave you a lopsided smile, letting the joke rest for now. Come on, we should probably go meet up with the group. Yeah. You didn't dally any longer, slipping back into the crowd and making your way towards the entrance of the farmer's market. It didn't take long to reach the parking lot. Your parents, Mr. Holden, and Liz were already waiting there, and they waved at you both as you approached. Your own family seemed to be in pretty good moods, in contrast to Mr. Holden. He stared at Cove with open concern as he got closer. Hey, bud. Hey, Jamie. How you doing? We'd be doing better if we hadn't been abandoned on a farmer's market by our families. You saw your mom's frowning at his response, Ma glancing from Cove to Mom with blinking eyes. Just because Jamie is really laid back doesn't mean you can just leave them out of your plans and expect them to go with it every time. Ma hung her head, ashamed, and Mom had a hand pressed to her cheek. You could tell that they were quickly regretting their scheme.
I'm so sorry.
Her words were full of emotion. Mom squeezed Ma's arm. We were trying to make the errand more of a trip, less of a chore. Ma nodded. We didn't think you, Cove, and Liz wanted to be stuck trudging around a market with your parents all day. Especially not in the summer. But you're always very thoughtful and don't like to leave your moms behind. So we did ourselves. It was only going to be for the market, not the other stops, I promise. Still, you're right. We could have just told you and let you make your own call. I really am sorry. Neither of us meant to upset you.
I'm really sorry.
All gas, no brakes, and we should have known better. Sorry. Yep, she is blessed or cursed depending on how she feels on a given day. Ma ditched me, too, after pulling her urgent potty break stunt, if that helps. I went off to do my own shopping, as it seems they planned.
Sorry.
Sorry I didn't check back in with you. I wasn't thinking and just tried to blow it off. You quietly took in their stories of what happened. Over to the side, Cove was talking to his dad. Thanks for telling me something was up. Though I feel bad for missing the warning when you sent it.
You're welcome.
It's no trouble, sport. I learned my lesson about making surprise plans. Besides, I've got to register every thought that wanders through this head by you first, right? That sounds about right, yeah. Cove smiled at his dad. Mr. Holden, laughing, clapped Cove on the back.
Not bad.
Wow, we're really being outplayed today. Zomphy! Hi, my sweet. Hope you're well. Thank you, Zomphy. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. Grown-ass adults, stop saying the word potty for shit's sake. I know. I know, Carrie. You realize you hadn't been the only onlookers to the Holden's moment. Your moms were exchanging rueful looks. Liz had her arms crossed over her chest, patiently watching it all unfold. Yes, looks like it. We'd better find some way to catch up.
In that case?
Maybe we can do Jamie's chores for the next week? Mom jabbed Ma on the shoulder. You might be onto something. Jamie, how'd you like the sound of that? They looked at you hopefully. My husband wants to try his electrical guard thingy on me and electrocute me now. Okay, Belly, so if we don't hear from you soon, then we will, so if we don't hear from you anymore, we will know who to blame, you know. If it's necessary, we will testify at the murder trial. I'm pretty sure the this chat will save itself, so we'll have this as a record. I was never mad. That's wonderful. We'll still do better. Come on. And at the very least, we can make sure everyone stays together for the rest of the stuff we're making today. You all nodded at the suggestion.
Yes.
We won't let you down. We'll be the best sheepdogs ever, guarding the flock and catching any strays.
Funny.
We can at least be shepherds. You chuckled, your mood lifting in spite of the bumpy morning. It was going to be all right. You turned to the entrance for the farmer's market for one final glance, pressing it into your memory under this new light. You thought on what you'd picked up at the market, and how you were going to enjoy it later. Some things you can only get from the local suppliers like this. That was another perk about coming along to the market today. Cove then sidled up next to you, an eager smile on his face. You could tell from his expression that he was up to something. I know this wasn't part of the plan for the day, but nothing that happened really was, so... You cooked up a scheme of your own? He laughed. Anyway, well, I sort of picked something out with you in mind. You held a hand to your chest, staring at Cove as he explained further.
I mean...
Since your moms decided we should shop separately, I figured I could use the time to get you something, just as a little surprise. Zomphy! Thank you, Zomphy! Pizza slices in the chat for Zomphy, and congratulations to Mallow, Baroque, Electric Storm, Perry, Painfully Realistic, Sweet Jane, Liberace, DG, Jen, Tebow, and Chibi. Chibi. So yeah, drop some pizza slices in the chat for Zomphy. He reached into one of his bags and retrieved one of the wrapped up objects. You accepted the unexpected present, and he looked on excitedly as he tore off the paper. Is it a cucumber to use when he's not around? It was a glass bottle of grape soda. You didn't need to taste it to know that it would be nice. It was a boutique product. It was heavy in your hands, the container and smart metal cap reaffirming the quality. Even the label, constructed from coarse paper rather than a flimsy sheet of plastic, was distinctive. You were practically bouncing in anticipation, and he smiled sweetly at your reaction. Tendy's gut skipped again. I mean... Yeah. Made an OST on my channel. You saved me because my husband saw you were recording and then no more wanted to try this electric experiment. Glad to know we saved your life, Belly. Glad we saved your life. It's not a big deal, but I just thought you might like it. You're so wonderful. You were touched that Cove wanted to treat you to something nice. Whether you were physically together or not, you were clearly always on his mind, and in his heart. Liz clapped her hands together with the air of a teacher calling for attention. Since the other adults aren't acting like grown-ups, the rest of us are going to have to pick up the slack. It's time to get back on schedule and continue with the rest of the errands. Playtime is officially over. Ma laughed while Mr. Holden grinned awkwardly. Mom hung her head in an exaggerated display of mock defeat. Kids are tough, and I can't even call them kids anymore. Liz tutted with amusement at her mother. Cove shrugged, staying a neutral observer, but the small smile on his face revealed that he was enjoying the conclusion. You laughed, glad that everyone was getting along. That's right, we're all grown-ups now. With that, your trip to the farmer's market was closed. It was time to move on. There were too many of you for one car, so you and Cove had wound up in Mr. Holden's car on the way over. You figured it made sense to do the same for the next leg of the journey. You sat next to Cove in the back. After buckling in, Cove leaned back in his seat, letting himself be cushioned by the headrest. Once he'd shifted a little, he appeared to have found the perfect angle for maximum comfort. Hey, Jenna. He gazed out of the window, looking suitably content with the world. You followed suit, hunkering down in your seat and looking out of the window as the car pulled away from the lot. You knew Cove well enough to spot the signs of when he was physically present, but mentally elsewhere. The way he would fall quiet, staring without seeing, the long blinks, all of which he was doing right now as he looked at nothing in particular. You closed your eyes as you pulled up the resolve to speak. You were miles away for a second. What were you thinking about? Well, I was just thinking about how nice you are. How nice I am? Yeah. His face grew redder as his hands clenched around the top of his knees. You stared at him, hoping for an explanation, but Cove simply ducked his head. When he next spoke, his voice was barely more than a whisper. Attendees? Cove is main character sexual. Cove is attracted to whatever gender the main character is. Pan for sure? Probably. Because the player character can be boy, girl, or non-binary. Can be anything. In this case, my character is non-binary. I am playing a non-binary player character. But, yeah, you can play boy, girl, or non-binary. Either way, Cove will be attracted to you. I'm lucky I get to be with you. Omnisexual? I mean, I'm pretty sure omnisexual would mean, like... they'll have sex with everything. Omnisexual means sexually attracted to everything. I feel lucky too. He peeked at you from the corner of his eyes, still too shy to look at you directly. You smiled at him affectionately, eliciting an equally caring smile from Cove in return. Cove's eyes look edible? You felt content, secure in your relationship with Cove. You decided to enjoy your drink now. You twisted off the cap and brought it to your mouth. Even before the first sip reached your lips, the scent tickled your nostrils. You took a swig. It is refreshing, the perfect way to hit the spot after a long morning trawling through the market. This is great. Thanks, Cove. He grinned at you, pleased that his pick had been well received.
You're welcome.
You spent the rest of the day completing the remaining errands all together as a group. You were glad that you'd closed the day with everyone. Ma had been true to her word and ensured that you spent the rest of the time with the Last family and the Holden family in one place. It had been a wonderful time, a lovely high note to end on. Hey, Blueberry Muffins. Homosexual. Chantel's sobbing. Give me a second. You okay? I'm here if you need me. If you pierce an eyeball, it pretty much turns to goop. Well, that's not something I want to hear about. Okay. No, I mean, people were saying that she's upset, so I just wanted to check on her. She told me she needs time. She said she just needs some time, so I assume we'll talk later. What's the game about? Growing up and how relationships change over time. Alien Tourist. More time good. It's coming up on 2 hours. 2 hours is about how long, as long as I ever feel like doing. You don't check at me when I'm weeping. I mean, frankly, I don't check on myself when I'm weeping. No, Gia, this is definitely the last month in the villa. We've signed the papers. We are absolutely out at the end of the month. Sorry, Alien Tourist. You just got here and I'm just about ready to leave. I know, Flop, but I mean, it's just, that's, yep. I can't impose on her. Like, I can't impose my sympathy on her. Well, she'll talk to me when she's ready. Dinner? Had chicken for dinner. You get to move to now? Yeah, I don't want to talk about that, Carrie. Indeed, Chibi. Bring a rotisserie chicken to cheer her up. Just about freezing, yeah. Anything fun for my birthday? I'm gonna try to... My plan is to bake a cake on live. Go live and bake a cake. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Oh, Chantel's live ended. You stay for 6 more hours? No. She said she hates life. Well, frankly, Flop Era, I am right there with her at this point. Thanks, Anaripsa. Sleep stream tonight? No. Thanks, Zonky. That's okay, Che Mello. Bally, the point isn't the cake. Like, the point to make the cake is to is like content. Like, my plan is to bake a cake on stream as content, as something to do on camera. One more hour? I don't know. Go if not tomorrow? Nah. I'm hoping to make spaghetti tomorrow with the last of the veal. Again, Flop, I mean, it's I can't force my sympathy on her. I can't force help on her. I need to wait for her to be ready. Dress up in my skirt dress and bake? Baby. I don't know. I sometimes had even 5 cakes. Yeah, I don't think so, Gia. Hey, blueberry muffins. I want whatever the doctor tells us is bad for us. Anyway, I think I'm gonna call it a night here. Been about 2 hours, so gonna call it a night for now. Seem a little off. Yeah, I am alien tourist. I am very much off. How's your day going? Yeah. I don't know about that. She'll do whatever she does whatever I need her to do. So yeah. Thanks for coming. And I'll probably see you tomorrow. And